Hey guys, Dot5 here with episode number 16 of our FUT Ultimate Team FUT Champs highlights, and we're kicking it off in game number 11. In the previous episode we went 6 and 4, and the title was correctly episode Poor Start, because really we should be doing much better than 6 and 4 with the squad that we've got. But right at the end of the episode we switched it to our ultra good Premier League side. Jimenez, Mane, Mahrez, Henderson, Keane, Ayoze Perez, then it was Regulion, Alonso, Maldini, Carvajal, and Alisson in goal. And you can see there, the first chance came our way. We missed an opportunity with Raul Jimenez. Well, it was a good save by the keeper, but 10 minutes in, Raul Jimenez looking to redeem himself, plays the ball to Mahrez, receives it back on the volley, tucks it into the back of the net. We were all over this guy in this. Just opening 10 minutes, we were all over him. He was okay, but we were definitely all over him. If you wanted to pick a dominant player, it would have been me, and it would have been Mahrez being the most dominant player on the pitch. 2 assists to his name, 36 minutes in. 2 minutes after that, he fouled Mane with Miranda, and he rage quit from the game. So that is ourselves now on to 7 wins from 11 games. Going into game number 12, he's got a decent looking La Liga squad, and we're going to look to dominate this game as well, just as we did in the previous one, because overall our squad is better than his. His keeper is going to be hard to break down, but other than that I think we can do good against this squad. He had the Militao, but I think he had the 87 Militao, which is just silly. As I said in the previous episode, save up your coins, do the 90. You know, he's so much, the 90 is a lot better, and it's maybe double the price, maybe half that, but I would have saved up my coins and do the 90. But we were all over this guy to this point, and then he counterattacks us and scores with his Munayen. But just before halftime, 43 minutes into the game, Alonso receives the ball from the throw-in. Hendo is going to just play it across to Keane to Perez. Perez, a nice little dinked ball through to Jimenez. He's going to outstrength Militao, sends him to the ground. Just going to do a little ball roll, dinks it across. Ayoze Perez is there, and the attacking the central midfielder role. With the team of the season coming out, there is a couple of very good players that can fill in that role for Aaron Ramsey. Sabitzer is one of them. He's a objectives player. Thomas Muller, Tony Kroos is another one I saw. There's so many. There is so many. And Muller is one I really want to try and get in my red picks if I can. Because him as a box-to-box attacking midfielder, incredible. He's tall enough to win headers, great shooting, good enough pace. But we do go 3-1 up against this one against iMoon T. And we do win that game, putting us on to 8 wins on this weekend. And that's Silver 2 confirmed. Coming to this one, another decent little Premier League team. He's got a couple of players that we've got in our squad, being Raul Jimenez and Ayoze Perez. Other than that, it's an okay squad. It's not the best, but it's definitely not a bad Premier League squad. It's not the worst Premier League squad you could have. But 4 minutes into the game, Mahrez to Mane. Mane back to Mahrez. Mahrez just brilliant dribbling to keep possession of the ball. Plays it through to his African counterpart in Mane, who tucks it into the back of the net. Back in the net. 5 minutes in, we are 1-0 up. And it only took us another few minutes as Mane's through on goal, sets it back across to Ayoze Perez, who filled in that cam roll brilliantly. And 11 minutes in, we're 2-0 up against this guy. And he's trying to counter us, but again, we're just winning the ball back and quite easily breaking down his team. Again, our team is a lot better than his. And we do eventually get a 3rd goal, and eventually this guy does decide to rage quit. Which then puts us on to 9 wins on the weekend. After a poor start, I think we're really starting to click on now. Until we come up against this guy, it's a first owner road to glory with a lot of decent players, but a lot of SBCs. So obviously this guy's first owner pack luck might not be the best, whereas his SBC, his grinding to do the SBCs is pretty good. But this guy, he's one of those guys, defends with his midfielders, counters, and just gets all around very lucky. A little bit of ping pong there for you. As the ball first pings off of our defender to fall to Visca, then pings off and falls to Cruz, and he's also one of those boys that likes to celebrate in full. So it's just really nice to see the FIFA community in such a nice non-toxic community. But again, you like the first ping pong goal, you'll love this one even more. We tackle to block the shot. Maldini then falls over Alisson, who can't get to the ball because Maldini was in the way. Ansu Fati gets to the ball, nods it home, and guess what? He's going to celebrate in full. And again, it's just pinball. This is pinball 20, not FIFA 20. 61 minutes into the game then, Maldini wins the ball. We're going to try and counter, but it doesn't quite work out the first time. But Keane comes in, wins the ball. Mara's up to Mane. Mane is going to hold it up, just wait for that little run by Jimenez. Instead, he goes back to Mahrez. It's a great touch. And a nice little dink over the top of Edwin van der Sar. He makes it 2-1. We are going to just try now in this. You can see we're at 3 at the back. We've gone all out, constant pressure. And basically, we get punished for trying to attack. And this guy gets rewarded for sitting back. Again, very annoying. But a nice ball out wide to, I think it's the American guy from the objectives. But Visca's shot, his blocked, falls straight to Anselmo. This guy goes to celebrate in full. Watch all the replays for a simple little goal. And I think it's purely because he knows he shouldn't have won that match. He knows I dominated him. And he knows that should have been my victory. But a loss, it's fair. It's an undeserved victory. But a loss is a loss. We'll take it on a chin and we'll go into the next game and try and redeem ourselves. As we come against an Oblak, an Erdegaard, a Griezmann in centre midfield with a Timo Kroos, a Rivaldo on the left, a Gerard Moreno on the right, and you can see at half-time we both had the same stats, 2 shots, 1 on target. Well, going into the second half, he took a while to kick off, but when he did, Mariano lost out the ball to Keane. Reguilon, he's going to play the ball to Henderson. Henderson turns, finds Keane. Keane up to Perez. Perez finds Mahrez. Mahrez finds Jimenez. Just quick passing, and it's working really effective here. As Raul, he's going to just play it across to Perez, in to Mahrez, taken out, no penalty. That's alright, he gets up and volleys it home. He makes it 1-0. We should have had a penalty there when Mane was tackled and taken out. That's okay though. But 75 minutes into the game, Keane, just outside the box, plays it to Hendo, but Hendo is intercepted by Kroos, wins it straight back. Mane to Raul. Raul holds it up really nicely. Ramos plays it right back to him. Back heel to Riyad Mahrez, and on his weaker right foot, Riyad Mahrez tucks it into the back of the net. He makes it 2-0, doubling our lead. But we're not done there, because in the 84th minute, Keane on the ball, dribbles around, just trying to find some space. He finds Mane. Mane finds Fekir. Fekir finds it back to Mane, who finishes it up, puts the bow on top, puts the cherry on top with the sprinkles. And you can see this guy had nothing in the second half, whereas ourselves, we really pushed on and really started to dominate the game. And we're now on 10 victories on the weekend. In our second batch, we've been much, much improved on that first one. Coming up against a decent La Liga team. A couple of team of the seasons in there, but mainly you want to look for that Oblak. Oblak, his rating is high, but he's not really all that good. From the experience I've used his normal card, I think he was moving his keeper there. I'm not 100% sure, because sometimes the keeper does move by himself. But Riyad Mahrez, from the cam position, he's been brilliant this weekend. 11 minutes in, we're 1-0 up, and we're going to look to add to that as Williams finds Thomas Partey. Kroos up to Erdegaard. Erdegaard back to Kroos. Scores. It's a bit of poor defending there by myself. I'm not going to lie. I gave Kroos way too much room, and we got punished for it, really. We got punished for it. But 35 minutes into the game, Raul Jimenez holds up the ball nicely. He drags his Militao so far out of position, slides in with his defender there, can't get past Mahrez. Kroos has been dragged all the way back. That means Perez is open. That means Perez can do what Perez does best and tuck balls into the back of the net. 2-1. And then straight from kickoff, Mane won the ball, but because I was pressing circle to stand tackle, he shot instead of running on with it. But that's fine. We win the ball back with a poor pass by himself, and Jimenez plays a little 1-2 with Mane, make that a 1-2-3-4 as it goes back to Mane. He tucks it into the back of the net from my opponent's kickoff. We go and score, and we make it 3-1. Into the second half, you can go all the way to the 78th minute for us to get our first goal of the half as Mane plays it through. What is Jimenez doing there? Why did that not auto-lock onto Jimenez? I'm not 100% sure why. But Santi Cazorla gives away the ball to Hendo. Raul repays his debt to Mane, who should have had an assist. He repays him with a goal, and he makes it 4-1. And then in the last few minutes of the game, Oblak, he takes out our player, and we go for a little dinky-dink with Alisson. It doesn't quite work out, but we'd won the game at this point anyway, so there was no real scare or panic when we did miss that one. But we're now on 11 wins. That's silver one achieved. That's qualification for next week's FUT Champs achieved as well. As we go into game number 17, he's got a Premier League side with a Litmanen. It's a pretty good Premier League side, apart from the Heung-min Son, his normal gold card. So he's going to be much easier to defend than, let's say, Heung-min Son's Team of the Season card. But 5 minutes into the game, Jimenez and Mane tearing shit up, as they always do, as they have for these past few games. As Mane breaks through on goal, tucks it past the goalkeeper, rounds him with a nice little finesse shot. And in the 12th minute, Mane showing that he's not just a goal scorer, he can pass and dribble as well. As he dribbles down the byline, whips it across, Mahrez is there heading it home. Mahrez is a pretty lanky player, so headers are actually pretty easy to be scoring with him, because he's taller than you'd expect. But 37 minutes into the game, a chance for this guy here is this Heung-min Son on the ball, looks to play through the Litmanen, does so, skips past one, strikes it, but it actually goes wide of the post. That's the best chance this guy really had in the game. As we went to the 51st minute, Mahrez lays the ball across to Perez. Perez to Mane. He's actually taken out in the process. Look at Jimenez's penalties. That's a bar and a half, but the circle, his penalties are 99, I believe, so the circle really doesn't go anywhere. And he does rage quit. 3-0 was the final score. That is ourselves now on 12 wins this weekend. Raul Jimenez on the penalty spot. That's all you need. Raul Jimenez on penalties. As we go into this guy, he's got an off-chemistry Lucas Moura, which I thought was a bit strange. But other than that, it's a pretty basic defence. He's got a Neymar, he's got an Aubameyang, he's got that I think it's Romario. But other than that, I think it's a pretty bog-standard team. I don't know, maybe it's his first FUT Champs, I'm not 100% sure. But 9 minutes into the game, Mahrez plays the ball through to Mane, he tucks it into the back of the net. I'll tell you what, this guy did defend pretty decently, considering he had normal gold cards in his defence. But 66 minutes into the game, Mane on the ball, he plays the ball to Jimenez. Jimenez back through to Mane, who stayed onside really nicely there, and just a nice little outside the boot scooped chip. Brilliantly passed to Stegen. And then in the 80th minute, Hendo skips past his player nicely. Mahrez threads it through to Mane. Options in order to aim at. He's going to just lay it back across to Mahrez. Mahrez to Hendo. Hendo across to Keane. Waiting for some runs. Just taking the time. No rushing. And eventually the ball's found to Fekir. Fekir plays it through to Mahrez. And on his stronger left foot, Mahrez tucks it into the back of the net. This guy decided to rage quit with like 5 minutes left in the game. But that's ourselves on 13 wins now, as we go into game number 19. Very, very strong squad. Benzema, George Best, and Neymar, Fernandinho, and Bakayoko, and Del Piero. He's got a good card in, is it Lucas Hernandez? The Bayern centre-back? I think it's Lucas. But we're through on goal here, 32 minutes in, and Raul Jimenez just completely scuffs the shot. Really, really poor effort there by Raul Jimenez. And from the goal kick, 33 minutes in, we're still obviously showing that was from the resulting goal kick, sorry. But Jimenez gives away the ball to Del Piero, and Sadio looks to counter-attack as he drills the ball upfield. Hendo intercepts, and Mane and Hendo just the two Liverpool boys trying to work it upfield. Keane to Mahrez. Mahrez looks to turn Nesta. Can't quite do so, and Bakayoko receives the ball. George Best now. He's playing a 4-1-2-on-2, and I think he was playing Best at centre midfield, which I thought was really, really weird. But he stops here with his Neymar, plays it across to Del Piero. So much space for the Benzema on the first time strike. A lot of power behind that shot. And you can see at half-time we're being dominated. He's had 7 shots, 3 on target. So we switch to the 3-2... I can't quite remember what this one's called. I think it's a 3-4-2-1 is the name in game. We bring on Fekir and Aaron Ramsey. And in the 61st minute of the game, Mahrez threads the ball down to Ramsey, who's actually ran down the wing really nicely. Back across to Mahrez. As he's in the box, drilling across goal. Mane's there. Nice little sweaty goal for you there, boys. 67 minutes in, Rambo to Mahrez, turns his man brilliantly. He's going to cut back inside, but Mendy wins the ball. Not the best of clearances, as it's given away as Ramsey looks to play it through. This guy moves his keeper so far out of the way because he thought it was going to cross goal. And we, as I've said, we have the nerve and the ability to just slow ourselves down and see what his keeper does before we take our shot. We did that there, and we put it in at the near post. He did a little bit of fancy skills there with his Ryan Kent, but fancy skills don't always work as Maldini intercepts the ball. We play it through to Mane. Mane's just going to play it through to Nabil Fekir. He's got the fresh legs against the Fernandinho. Passed across. Look at Mahrez at the back post. Look at him. Look at him. Bang! And the two players we got out of the guaranteed packs working together there. And then in the 84th minute, Hernandez through to Nesta. Nesta's going to have the ball intercepted off of him by Carvajal. He takes him out in the process. Bit of rage, bit of anger, I think, at that point. Straight red card for the Nesta. This boy's not playing at this point. We've dominated him since we've turned to this free at the back. We play the ball through to Mane. Just to security, makes it 4-1. Nice little goal, and you can see here. We completely brought it back in the second half when we switched to 3 at the back. Really, really took control of the game. And that's 14 wins, that's gold 3, confirmed. So, right now, in 10 less games, we have done just as well as we did last week. Going into this one though, the final game of the episode, we're coming up against a guy with a nice little squad. You can see in the 25th minute, we go ultra attacking, we go to our 3 at the back. And in the 44th minute, counter attacking here, Ayoze Perez to Raul. Raul double tap over the top, but Reguilon gets to the ball just before Mahrez can. And Ferdinand over the top, really nice pass there to Reggie, as Visca plays the ball through to Giovinco. Giovinco holds it up, skips past Maldini. Unfortunate there with that block, that it fell right back to him. And eventually the ball goes right back to Visca. Stops really nicely and a nice little finesse shot past Alisson. Kind of the stop he did there that made me run my centre-back out of position. Really, really effective there. But we're bringing on Fekir and Ramsey for this second half. And in the 50th minute, we're going to get the first real chance as Keane on the ball finds Fekir. Fekir holds it up and he's going to play it back to Mahrez. Mahrez to Ramsey. Ramsey holding it up, waiting. Mahrez is making the run. Skips away from his 2 men. On that right foot, tucks it past Edwin van der Sar. He makes it 1-1. Then in the 64th minute, you can see we're all over this guy. And he's not pressing us. At this point, the score's 1-1. You want to be pressing. You want to be getting the ball. You don't want me... I'm thinking now, who can I pass to? What can I do? I'm just biding my time, waiting, slowly waiting. And I'm about to pull the trigger here as Mahrez to Fekir. Fekir to Mane. Fekir can now receive the ball back with a little double lofted through ball. 2-1. We win the game. We go 15-5 to end this episode. We went 9-1 these previous 10 games. How much better is that with this God squad? It's incredible. Hope you guys have enjoyed though. I'll see you in the next one as we look to get to gold 2 and maybe even further. I'll see you then. Peace.